Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Legend. I think that the artillery ship looks so cool. I also think it's kind of interesting that they have this this sort of diagonal plank in them, which on real life large ships is it's a runway, right? Isn't that for planes to land on? So I'm not 100% certain what the I mean, I guess there are races that fly. It gives them a better place to land. I don't know. Anyway, we have got to take our burgeoning economy here and form it into a machine for producing influence. Because it is turn 98, and the AI is going to be kicking their win the game machines into actual, real, let's end this mode, like real soon. So, nobody's particularly close to an economic or diplomatic victory yet. I'm actually leading on diplomatic. Shock of shocks. Nobody has any victory techs yet. I think that blue, well, purple before them, but blue now, has done a good job of keeping red small, you can see here. I'm not sure what blue's intended win condition is, but I think he's kind of all over the place, which is good for us as long as we can keep him from, you know, driving his entire empire down my throat. So, we need to pick up a lot of diplomatic points. We are currently at 271, which is fine, but obviously nowhere near our intended value. So we should plan to have to produce about 2,200 diplomatic points, which means about 11,000 influence. And I mean, that's the best case scenario. We should try to make peace with red if we can. We'll increase our drip a little bit. Like, right now we're getting 2 diplomatic points per turn from our status with blue. It would be cool if we could get 2 from red as well. But basically we have to kick this into high gear. So we're about to finish Endless Mechanisms. We need to pick up +1 level on pillars. Or wait, did I? No, I've been responsible. I already got it. What we need to do is go back and grab Public Works. And we're going to need... I guess there's no other influence text available to us yet. It kind of felt like I was an era further forward. Okay, well, we'll get Public Works. And then probably it's going to be food techs after that. And we're just going to try to brute force our population into producing enough industry, or enough influence. So the other thing we should be on the lookout for is heroes. Especially heroes with influence efficiency. There are not very many of those. Slavery is an acceptable trait. Influence boost isn't bad. We're certainly not going to turn down influence boost 3 on a hero who has a thing that can boost the influence produced by units, or by citizens. So let's go ahead and buy him. Why did I click this? Here we go. This is what I wanted. The capital currently has no hero. It should probably have Ozek the Chosen. Excuse me. Pardon me? What do people... Bless me. I don't know. So Rothald is on 12 people. We need to get Ozek the Chosen leveled up enough to finish out Impassioned Preacher, and then we need to get him through Will of Achille up to Proselytizer. Okay. I think we're ready to go. We're about to have Endless Mechanisms, so that'll be good for us. We can search these ruins, hopefully get some influence, but also just get some stuff to kickstart more nation. We need to spread out more. We need to be ready to drop influence pillars. These ones. And it's just a matter of finding the right moment to convert our preparation into action. Now, I offered, during the last game, to explain to people a little bit better what I mean when I'm talking about engine building, and you guys took me up on it, and I will be, I'm already producing that video. It is not, it's not quite ready for daylight yet, but I'm working on it. So hopefully you guys will soon see exactly what I'm talking about. For now, just be patient. Trust that there is a plan. And trust me when I say this is another case where figuring out the right moment to transfer our engine or to transfer our resources from engine building to resource output is going to be vital. So, I mean, the most sensible thing to do is to put down the next burrow in a place where it's going to expand the reach of a pillar that is placed nearby, right? So this is fine. A pillar placed here will get lots of coverage. Right now we are all about expanding our ability to produce influence, which largely means expanding our empire. Expanding our population and our number of cities is also a good idea. Locate and capture the Manufactorium in Lorwu. Well, that's inconvenient. Let's back up and grab these ruins, since they have repopped for us. Hey, that time we got the bathysphere tech. That's cool. So that's awkward. We're not going to be able to do that, and we're not going to be able to take this fortress by force. A shame, to be sure. Do I want to pop units out and have them search the ruins around here? Probably not. I think I want to leave that for... Actually, maybe I shouldn't have dropped Ozek into this city. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to have Ozek pop out of Rothald in 4 turns when he's allowed to and grab up all of this stuff. In the meantime, let's move units to Rothald's garrison, units that are in the surrounding cities, to give Ozek a little bit more passive XP gain. Oh, he's not actually adjacent to the city. There we go. I don't know why I thought that would be adjacent to the city. Their hero is standing there. That tile can't possibly be city. Yeah, that's all of our loose units. Okay. Yeah, I have no idea how long it's going to take Blue to win the game. I doubt Red is going to be capable of winning the game, at least not, like, soon. And there's a pretty good chance that Blue consumes them before it happens. Somebody constructed the Throne of Emperors, so he's working hard on some influence stuff. Alright, hold on. What's my approval rate now is 96%. And that's with this having been our Empire plan last time. So we don't need to push south for the influence, or for the approval. I might even want to pull this back, I'm wondering, like, because we don't want to spend too much... Well, we're about to have to build public works in every city, though. I was about to say we don't want to spend too much influence, because we want to bank all of our influence for deal-making so that we can get diplomatic points out of it. But we probably do want at least Tier 2 science and industry. So the question is, do I want extra dust per citizen on cities? I think this is probably not worth having. We're going to, at some point, probably not too far in the future, be converting people to influence, and before they are on influence, they're probably going to want to be on industry. So I think we'll just take this 360 plan. I'll be honest with you, I was not even thinking about that. I was not planning for it. $10 Hyperium, I like that. Now remember, we have to, for our faction quest, equip a hero with Hyperium and drop 2 level 6 Ateshi Zealots out to search a ruin. That might not be feasible before the end of the game. Oh, those boarding vessels, I don't have to run from those. They are very injured. Well, let's regroup here. So let's keep looking at the marketplace. We don't have a die booster running right now, do we? No, we don't have any die income. There's not enough die on the marketplace. The only thing we can really pull is Grass Silk or Red Sang. Red Sang is actually useful, though. Alright, what does it take to pop a booster for us right now? 35? Okay. let's buy some Red Sang. And when Ozek comes out to start looting ruins, we'll pop the Red Sang on him. Oh, this Perdeki is finished. Well, let's move him up to the city. Man, cavalry units on roads. That is a lot of travel. So what do we want to build here? This might be a good time to just make settlers. As we fan out our empire, we gain the ability to produce more citizens, right? New cities will be producing citizens, and the old cities will be producing the citizen that replaces the lost settler faster than they would produce the additional citizen on top of the citizen that turned into a settler, right? Because each successive citizen in a city increases the food cost of the next one. So this is a good way to spread out our population, to get more people out and to start producing as much influence as possible. But it's important for us to remember... Really, you can't get into the city from there? Didn't we have a whole bunch of people do this already? I never researched meritocratic promotion. There's no slots left. This might be the first time in literally hundreds of games that I've gotten to turn 100 without meritocratic promotion. What a bizarre set of circumstances we've had here. Alright, so I'm currently in Tech Era 4, right? Yeah. I think there's basically no chance of us completing the next step of our faction quest until we're Tech Era 5 at least. Then we can produce some new zealots. Oh, totally forgot about this. Visit these ruins to get new guys. Okay, remember, blues at peace with us can't attack us even in neutral territory. 120 dust. 20 adamantine is nice. Here we're going to do this manually just to make sure. It should be pretty easy to do this without losing a ship. But let's make sure that nothing crazy happens. See, this is a terrible start. I don't know why AI would tell us to do that. Okay. So he's got 3 move. Should be fairly straightforward. Oh, apparently I can't count. Whatever, should still be fairly straightforward. Oh, no! Wow, we're having a really hard time killing him. We had a brief glimpse of some new pearls. Okay, you just, I mean, get into a garrison somewhere, I guess. How much time is left on my current 5 turns is left on the set of pillars we have out now? So we should keep looking at the hero pile, but we also want to make sure that we have a lot of dust available for pillaring. Influence boost 2 is fine. I mean, honestly, Andom the Seer would beat just a random influence boost 2 guy. Oh, except that he's high level. Oh, but he's leveled up in he's leveled up in a governor way instead of a hero way. Actually, this guy is really valuable to us. We're gonna wait until we can hire him. I think that's a good use of our money. We'll put him in Sulin or something. I know we have a guy in Sulin now, but well, actually, I'm not sure where we'll put him. I don't have a plan yet on that front. Okay, armies are back to regenerating health. That is somewhat likely to never matter to me. We could probably have equipped our hero with some plus movement gear while she was still in our territory, actually. Okay, Alondarin needs 1 turn worth of something to build. Where do I want to put up the canal locks? This is a question. Because obviously I want them to be somewhere. I suppose this is good. It feels a little silly not to have them built. They could go in Sulin. You know what? Let's just commit everybody to industry in Sulin right now. I think we're done with shipbuilding probably. All right, are you available yet? Next turn. I guess the question is, do we want Ozek to do this now, or do we want to do this with the new guy? Have him scoop up all the ruins. Because he's pretty close to a level. Ooh, the Order of Asivir. That's pretty cool. It would not be possible for us to get this under most circumstances, so that's neat. Because we can have this guy do it. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do it with Andom. So next turn, we'll have enough dust to restore him. We'll make him. We'll have him run around and grab stuff. And he will go in our most influence-producing city. Okay, we'll make a settler here for the same reason we were making a settler elsewhere. Start picking up all this territory that we've left behind. I don't think that my development was bad this game, but it was very slow. Well, we're picking up lots of pearls here at the end of the game, which is nice because it does give us something to trade. The AI is crazy for pearls. Alright, what's going to be the next most valuable thing? It's probably food. Could be science to pick up more food techs. We don't want to do stuff that requires palladium, but we didn't even bother to pick this up yet, although this actually does also require palladium. We didn't even pick this up yet. Yeah, okay. Rondaria. I mean, get on it, I guess. It may not end up mattering all that much. Alright, dye extractor's coming. Do I want to take, like, all of my cities and pull them off of their current duties to get the public works built immediately? I think the answer to that question is maybe yes. Oh no, or the National Museum. But oh no, it requires a bunch of freaking palladium. Okay, we need more money, really, to buy more palladium. So the answer is no. And we're just going to have to buy the palladium. We can trade for some of it, and trading for it is, of course, working toward our goal, so it's not a bad idea. We also want to build a national arena. It's going to be this city that does the big building. Yeah. We may have to focus up a little bit, though. Yeah, that's fine. Get that done. Actually, let's have that next birth, and then we'll refocus. So this is the turn where we buy you back. Do you have a movement speed trinket on? You don't. Yeah, why would you? You were governing. Although you were governing, so what do you have this stuff on for? Well, let's pull his damage boost trinket. Let's the slot that was in just disappear. Okay. Okay, improved movement 3 and create army on. Actually, hold on. Where do I want to create this? Is it maybe on Alandarin? On Ganley? Then he can hit here and here as he sweeps up to all this stuff? That's probably right. On Rondaria is way too far south. So let's on Ganley. And just start scooping stuff up. 150 dust, good start. Oh, I should have... Right, I was going to red sang. Well, we missed like 10 XP there, 6 XP. What is it? 8. We missed 8 XP there. That's my bad. Level up a district in Tural to get the Borers Guild. That's a pretty good tech, actually. Well, I mean, we're sort of working on that. We're certainly building a 3rd district adjacent to this. So that should actually be pretty doable. How long are we from... we need to produce 1 more citizen before we can build the next district. Okay, this is a quest ruin, so we can't actually search it right now. Build a city improvement that increases influence for some spices. Well, we're about to do that. The Night Hammer. Ooh. This is a cool item I've never seen before. Man. I've put a lot of time into this game. Like a lot of time. But I am still seeing new stuff. In part because I think I was dramatically undervaluing Endless Mechanisms before, and... frankly, I just don't get to search that many ruins in the late game, usually. Oh, I guess I didn't give you orders. No, I did give you orders. Yeah, everything's fine. So Tural might want to work hard to produce a citizen. We have 1 to 8 turns left on the winter. So dust filtration will come online sometime soon. This will give them something to do for a little bit, a couple of turns. Alright, yeah. You have your orders, you get us all these pearls. I guess let's go see what this fortress wants. We'll make some decisions based on that. So Endom is part of the way to the next level. We may not actually be able to get a whole level out of this, unfortunately. But we did at least hurry along the level that he was close to. Alright, we have some good money now. Let's figure out how we're going to accumulate all of the Palladian we need. We're still a little bit off of the construction of that intensifier. And it is high time we started doing some deals. This is Blue kicking us back to Cold War. Yeah, that's to be expected. That's fine. Let's negotiate a new peace. Aw, nothing. The next ruin for you to search is all the way over here. So, yeah, negotiating time. Before we build anything in Genly, because this deal may end up getting us a bunch of Palladian. Okay, they're not terribly... they're not going to be terribly unreasonable about it. So if we did something like this, that gets us a little bit of favor for not that much cost. How much Palladian could I get from you? Actually, it looks like quite a bit. Alright, so it's like 30-something. Alright, that's 312 influence spent, which is 62 diplomatic points. We're working. Let's see if we can get a peace deal with you, too. I'll do that. Going to give me 8 Palladian. Bam. More diplomatic points. We're doing it. And now we have the Palladian necessary to begin construction of a bunch of the thing we want. Name already forgotten. You know, the thing we want. Endigir's pretty low value. Let's actually go settle Gleka first, I think. This has dye and dust orchid in it, is my thinking there. So... where do I settle? Probably near the dye, right? Yeah, let's just go settle here. We'll try to rush a luxury intensifier along or something. Seems fine. And then Ganli can start working on a national museum. I guess I could have just used the quick command for queue this in every city. Okay, that's good. Why don't you guys do this? 6 turns into the museum there. Yeah. And I guess we'll put it on... We'll queue it up in Rondaria as well. I don't need to buy this anymore. And I don't need to buy Palladian anymore. So what do we do with all this money? Well... oh, you know what? You know what I don't have? Is the ability to harvest the Dust Orchid. That is more important, I think, than Public Granary. Let's make that the next thing. Oh, you know what I should probably do is bank the money. Yeah, because we're about to have our pillars run out. Okay. Rothald's at 14 populations. That should be a pretty good sized influence producer. Ozek the Chosen. Do I want to move to Proselytizer? No, I think I want to finish this. He's in a city that has so many people. What does that sound? Oh, I'm being spied on. Rothald's industry production has been decreased. That's annoying. That is legitimately annoying. I wish you had not done that. Okay. So we'll put down the pillars in just a moment here. Alright, everybody has orders, everybody has important things to build. Okay, I think we're just going to go straight into influence pillars. We're going to turn this engine on a little earlier than we did last time. So let's drop one here, and here. We need to get another level up on our pillars, man. And here's a good spot. And then from there, it's every place is roughly equal value, is that right? Yeah, there's a lot of places I can put them down where I can get 5 of the 7 tiles. Oh no, wait. Right here is good. So there is a district there. And then one more, and if it's going to be... well, actually, as long as I'm not going to build the district here immediately, and I think I'm not. I would like to. I'd like to level that up. Yeah, you know what? Let's just put it down over here. I can put it right here. This... yeah, that has the same value. Okay. Oh, we do still have the money to put down another one. And then again, this one is pretty much the same everywhere. Right here. Okay, 209 a turn. That is not too shabby. We're going to have to get that up, but this is a good start. So how much... we could buy the Abbey of Anomalies design, plan to put down an Abbey, leveling stuff up, getting more influence. That might be the thing we want to do over here. We need more pearls. Alright. Let's hope this kick into gear is enough. Now, once we've got the museums finished, we're going to start moving citizens over to industry or to influence. How did my influence go down to plus 141? From 200 something to plus 141. Oh, my die ended and I don't have enough resources to pop another one. Well, we have a 3-point die extractor running now, and we're going to have another one soon. That's a good thing to save some dust for. Alright, 10 more Hyperium. Handy. Any chance you want to give me a really easy quest? Be Fervent and Rothald for 5 turns. Rothald is probably close, right? Rothald is happy. And we need... Yeah, actually, that's right. The wine was really important. Shoot, there's no wine. Well... I probably would have remembered that I really needed the wine if I had been, like, playing this game all in one session. That is definitely a mistake that comes from not remembering things from turn to turn. So... I mean, that should be a total slaughter, but I honestly, like, I just don't care. Okay. Run! Soon it will be time to place him properly into a city. It's probably going to be Tural, honestly. Or no, what's actually going to happen is Ozek's going to get moved to Tural, and he's going to be in Rothald. Yep, everybody's doing stuff. I really want Tural to get to this extra point of population, and then as soon as that's finished, we'll move back to industry and push this along. Okay. We do really need that die booster. Once we get this established, though, we should never run out of die again. Putting down the 2 cities I plan to put down now will move our booster cost to 45 every 10 turns, but we'll be producing 6 die per turn. We are at 549, so actually this might be a good time to see if the AI have any resources they would like to trade us. Because if we can get some dye and or wine, that would be really cool. Ooh, you have quite a bit of dye. I would like all of it. In exchange for... I don't know, what do you want? What of mine do you care about? You do not care about almost any of this stuff. Nor do you care about my tech. Interesting. This is actually going to be a tough deal to make. I don't really want to give him all these pearls. How much dye do I actually need? Well, hold on. First, let's talk to Red. Because if Red has dyes and will price them better for us, then we just do that. Wow, Red would really love some of these ending techs. But let's give him bread and circuses, because that's cheap as hell. Like, the AI gets very little use out of it, is what I mean to express. And then from you, can we get... I don't know, do you have a tech I want? So we could trade some techs. You know what? Sewer system would be good. Also, both because I want more stuff and because it is beneficial to us to increase the cost of this deal, I'm actually going to take your pearls. And... I don't need their Titan bones. All this? And some dust. I'll take however much dust rounds this deal out. It's not going to be very much. 170? That's real close. Gonna get every last little bit of value here. Okay. That's good diplomatic points. So our die booster will be available pretty soon. In fact, I'm going to not settle this city until we get our die booster out. You don't really have a lot of compelling things to do right now. I guess head down here. Our borders are not closed with blue right now, so we can grab a ruin or two on their side of the line until they close the borders. Just look around for stuff. Ruins and pearls. This winter could end any minute now, actually. That would be fine. We should check... Does it make sense to change our assimilate? I actually do really want to invite the Kazanji in, but we're making really good use of the Dorgeshi bonus right now. So I might actually want to pick up the extra minor faction assimilation slot. I don't usually do that, but this seems to be a good situation for it. One more thing to shove back the granary research. Alright, so Alandarin also doesn't pick us up into gear. I think I just kind of leave that fallow. And we go to Rocknall. We can get spices and a little bit more titanium. It's somewhere over there. Go that way and we'll figure it out later. Before the end of the Dark Season, in the next 3 turns, locate Bellon and kill a Guardian. I wouldn't hate all of that, dust, but don't think that's really feasible. Okay, so we gotta wait 2 more turns before settling our city. I think it's gonna be right here. Take advantage of the anomaly and also get us easy luxury intensifier. You guys have your orders. I don't know. I don't have a good sense for whether we're going to be able to pull this off or not. Okay, 150 dust, that's fine. Just keep getting XP. So we really want to get to like 60 pearls, right? Because I want to buy this design and this design, and then I want to build one of each, at the very least. And red has been eliminated. That's actually kind of a bummer. It means I have fewer trading partners. It also means blue has nowhere else to turn with their ambitions of conquest, which may cause things between us to become strained. Alright, does Tural need me to focus on food anymore? No, it'll get stuff done. Okay, Rothald is close on the museum. I think I'm going to save dust. I also think I missed this ruin that was camouflaged behind the name bar here. None of those winter bonuses look like they affect us very much. Huh. Random empty fortress. Well, yeah, I guess parlay. Let's see if the quest is worth doing. Give them 20 mithrite to get alchemical alloys? That's a strange prize for this late in the game. Weird. Oh, no, this was red. That's not that weird. That's actually like 100% expected. So that looks like an unsettled landmass. In fact, it definitely is. This has been a strange game in a lot of ways. Okay, nothing found. I guess head back to Sulin. And then it's probably after he searches the ruin in Sulin, it's probably time to put him to work. Alright, next turn we can pop our die booster and then we will settle. Now, we do have to be a little bit careful about Empire-wide approval. The fact that we're happy with no real way up actually is a little bit freeing, because it means I don't have to care about... I don't have to care too much about our approval. We can drop some points and it won't be a big deal. Return to these ruins and inspect them for some money. And we're getting levels. Iraku, I guess just move toward inspirational leader at this point. Yep. Kind of curious about this landmass. Well, it's a good start. We might actually be able to take over this ocean region with it being suddenly evacuated. Okay, let's pop this and this. That down, and then we're gonna buy luxury intensifier. Actually, let's add that to everybody's queue. Top of the queue. Get that done. Okay, so we're good on dyes for the rest of the game. Shouldn't be an issue. And every place is building sewers, so that'll push our empire-wide approval up. Yeah, good. Okay, next turn we have Native District. What did I pick up here? What was the minor faction village in this area? Well, not pacified for one thing. Also sisters, so kind of who cares. Kind of big who cares. So... yeah, we're all building sewers. And I mean, the sewer systems are also extra influence. It's not a lot, but you don't produce a lot of influence doing basically anything. Do I want to just rush the National Museum in places? Yeah, probably. Let's... well, I do need to save dust to make sure that I can have really big pillar groupings. Yeah, I don't know. The AI is not particularly close to a lot of the victory conditions, last I was aware. Let's double check that. But we aren't either. He's actually moving on the economic victory really quickly now. And he has one of the victory attacks. Ha! Forgot we didn't actually have augmented extractor yet. Well, I think that is the first time I've confirmed that intensifiers count as extractors for that purpose, so that's cool. Okay. And on the seer now gets to take over here. And Ozek the Chosen gets moved to here. Alright, so how much time do I need? Okay, you guys are ready to go. Who's still not ready? Ganli is... Ganli's ready. It's not big, but it's ready to go. You know what? This is extremely worth rushing. In fact, let's rush all of those. At the price we're paying for buildings right now, it's definitely worth just getting those done. So let's put down a burrow right here. I need 11 pearls to start building the intensifier, or the Abbey of Anomalies here, which would be a pretty good move. So where can I find some damn pearls? Come on, ocean pearls. Show me some sweet ocean pearls. Uh-oh. That's a lot of neutral ships. So I guess we're not taking this region over, because those guys are gonna break our control of stuff. Okay, we have to produce really a lot of influence, right? We have to get to 11k. So I don't think we have time at the current rate. But we are still working on one museum. Okay, the Red Sang is over, that's fine. I guess there's no reason to have a guy in Alandarin. He could be in this garrison instead. Surprise, we retreat. Alright, we should try to find more heroes, if we can. 10 Mithrite is cool, I guess. Oh, that's helpful. What is that? That's 9. So we don't need to find very many more. Why must you run into Blue's territory? Don't give away the game, man. Gleka needs to do this. Try to get that Dust Orchid Extractor up. Because that'll be helpful. We're not fervent, right? We're just happy. We're close to fervent. We could get there if we could pop a 10 approval booster, probably. So the Quicksilver might do it. Grass Silk. Grass Silk's probably better if we had to pick one. Okay, this I think should be enough to push us to fervent. Yep, good. Terrell needs to make a Dust Orchid Extractor. Rothald. Oh, Rothald could make a burrow, even. Let's do that. So kind of build around the pillaring locations. Okay, 700 influence per turn is a good start. We can push that number up. Yeah, this will be good when this National Museum finishes. We might be able to hire another hero or two with a relevant influence increasing ability. Native district's almost done. Yeah, they're really hammering away at those victory techs. I guess another thing we could do is try to hire a spy. I was trying to find my ship before that could happen. Wow, that's a lot of boats. Okay, the good news is that Blue is at peace with us. So we might be able to get them to get these guys off our back. Come on, find me cool stuff. What you found me was 640 dust. Okay. I'll take it. That should be pretty straightforward. Yeah, that's not bad, 640 dust. Probably this is the right thing to do. Take advantage of the river. Okay, Mill Foundry, purchase, sewers, markets. You can definitely purchase the sewer. The market's 467. Actually, hold on. Before we do that, we're probably best off using dust to rush buildings that have a little bit more impact. Can't really build much of an expansion here. But we can do this. Okay. And we still have the money, so yeah, screw it. Want to keep Empire approval high, so we should juice that up. Gleka also needs its market, right? Yeah. Okay, and then we'll throw these on there. Okay, the pillars are going to end soon, right? I think pretty soon. We have a really hard time getting a mouse over on the pillar. 2 turns. Okay, so let's not spend any more dust. I maybe should have spent less dust on that last turn even. Come on, show me some pearls. Okay, I'll take these. That's fine. Alright, so Alundra needs to settle all its dudes over here. And then we need... I don't even know what. An Alchemic Institute seems like a pretty bad buy. We need, I guess, guys? Like, producing units. And it doesn't matter what units, so let's just create a really cheap, completely basic version of the Telsin Warlock. Having units in our garrisons will increase the XP of our heroes. So yeah, given a lack of useful stuff to build, start working on units. And we should probably... This costs 100 influence, and it will increase our output by 5%. So yeah, we'll make that up in time, for sure. Okay. Plus 8, 10. I mean, we're getting there. Rocknull needs to build. Probably seed storage. Okay. So the question is, do we now drop pillars again, or do we wait a turn? So I don't really have that much money. Uh-oh. The blustery power of the Skyshaker facility. And back to Cold War with us? Well, that's fine. Give me something to spend influence on. Okay. The Wild Walkers have killed the sea monster. Well, we stopped him from getting control of the sea region, at least. And he has made the oceans extremely choppy, which is fine for me. Get us around, exploring and picking stuff up more quickly. Okay, yeah. His position is extremely powerful. Oh, are you not doing the thing? Please, help us out here. Now... At this point in the game, I don't know that there's anything that we can research that's really going to change very much. The game's going to end before we could build too many buildings. I don't think there's a passive thing available that's going to make up very much of a difference. I guess, technically, getting these two techs is valuable, because we might be able to buy stockpiles and use them for something valuable. Did it! 120 dust. So how much dust are we at? 1455. Yeah, let's just put down pillars. We're not quite fervent, unfortunately. Well, yeah, pillars. I think it's going to be better to put down pillars right now and get an extra turn of buffed up pillar output than it would be to wait. Where are the other places in the Empire? Right here. Okay, we're building on this currently. Huh. It lets you click the button even if you can't afford them. I thought we had enough. So if we could find 70 dust, we could put down another one. That's definitely something I can do. Let's sell some titanium. Remarkably, selling titanium will get us there. I guess blue's not selling any titanium. Okay, so 825. We still need an amount of time that I would describe as uncomfortably long, but, I mean, I'm doing what I can here. And the Empire's approval level doesn't actually affect our rate of output on influence, so... There's no sense in panicking about that. Dye is actually the only luxury resource that affects it in any way. Even Dust Orchid doesn't touch it. Although it affects it indirectly, right? Because if we were producing more food, we would have more influence. Alright. Am I really getting attacked by neutrals? Oh no, I'm getting attacked by blue because I didn't renegotiate the peace treaty. Duh. Hey, blue. Ooh, this is gonna be a challenge. So actually, even if we traded them everything we have, we would get nowhere near it. Oh, if we trade them a single fortress, either of our fortresses, they're all in. Interesting. Okay, if we arrange a tech trade that gets us into the next era, that might be useful. Wait, will it be useful? What from the next era would give me immediate benefit? I'd still have to build buildings. Yeah, I don't know. Because how many turns do we realistically have left? What, like, maybe... We will win in less than 10 turns. How's he doing? He's nowhere near the economic victory. He's still on 2 science techs. You know what? I think we might get this. Honestly. The trades are going to be kind of dumb. But I think we might get this. But I'd really like to be at peace with him, just so that we don't have to worry about the safety of our stuff. So let's trade for... Yeah, nothing early is actually valuable. Let's trade for this, and, like, can you give me some... I don't know, a little bit of Dust Orchid, maybe? Like, 5? Oh, he'll do more than 5. Just speed that up. Okay. So we lost our one ship over here somewhere. Yeah, I think we're actually going to beat him, despite the fact that he is in this incredibly good position. I think the silliness of the diplomatic victory is going to win the day. It really is a strange victory condition. It's very gamey, but you know, it was our aim, and it's what we've got available to us, so let's take it. Alright, so in a couple of turns we'll redo the math. We are definitely going to go ahead and end the video, or end the game in this video. I'm not going to start another one. So this may end up running a little bit long, but fortunately I actually have the time for that. But I'm not going to do one more video that's just me making 600 deals. 600 very silly deals with blue. Because the key to this is, what we're going to end up doing, and I know this is silly, is we're going to end up making like a lot of deals for 1 dust. And like... We can make an almost arbitrary number of deals. As long as we're willing to pay handsomely for them, which we are, because paying handsomely for them is actually good for us. Alright, and on the seer, another 20% influence out of our best city. Rothald is making almost half of our, actually over half of our influence. Alright, please keep these running. I would love to get another luxury booster up. So I got some Dust Orchid from him. It would take 45 to run a booster. We can get there. There we go. Fervency and the Dust Orchid thing on top of that gets us some good resources. And hey, pearls. We can use those. I don't really have any interest in doing that quest, so I guess let's just see what's over here. We can find some pearls or some ruins or something over here. Yeah, at this point in the game, our armies are very unlikely to produce anything of value for us. We're just waiting for accumulation. We're getting enough of our Dust Orchid boosters finished over the next few turns that we should never have to worry about Dust Orchid again. Start building toward Proselytizer with this guy. We do not want to take an expensive Empire plan, but I don't think I want to lose 20% science. And 160 influence is so little relative to the values we need. I think we can afford to stick on that. Okay. Alright, Rothald is actually getting its first level 2 district. Like I said, this has been a very strange game. Things have worked out oddly. Oh, I remember why I was thinking that we would want to level up to the next era. Because we can get +1 Arcana level on pillars in the next era. Well, it doesn't matter. It still probably won't happen. Even if we had traded for enough tech to jump an era, I don't know that it would have come down in time to matter. Because like I said, I think we're going to get this before it will be active. Well, I sure hope so after talking about it so much. If I fail to win now, it's going to be supremely embarrassing. Oh, hey, pearls. Yep, keep the die running forever. The spices break, and that drops us out of fervency. Can I get back in? There's a lot of Quicksilver on them. Oh, there's a lot of spices. We'll just run more spices. Plus, actually, spices are probably one of the best resources we could be running right now because extra citizens means extra people working on influence. So let's move up to these ruins. We can turn this off. 10 more Hyperium. We could actually equip the Verna's Transcendent Staff now. We won't, obviously, but we could. I'm not sure what the flavor of the diplomatic victory is intended to be. Is it just that Blue's going to go, you know what? We believe in your wisdom and kindness so much, you should lead. Despite the fact that we have all of the world's resources and all of the world's military power, and that your country is strangely shaped and there are large holes in it. We believe it should be you. There have been stranger justifications, I guess. Okay. If we are to complete another tech, it really ought to be this one. And since I have no intention of finishing the next stockpile tech, we may as well... Actually, this might get us sacrificial amplifiers pretty quickly. How many battles have I actually had this game? Meaningful battles. Like, have I done any meaningful fighting? I know I fought minor factions a bunch, but Alright, so let's have a look at this. Where are we? On diplomatic points, we are at 453. That's actually a lot more than I was expecting us to have by this point. Well, we've had to do a bunch of deals. So we need 10,000 and some influence, right? We're only a couple turns off of being able to start trying to make the deals. In theory, it should be easy, if tedious, to dump 10,000 influence on deals. It'll be particularly easy if blue breaks our peace treaty. I kind of want him to. And how much time do we have left on these pillars? 3 turns. Well, Sacrificial Amplifiers is going to come up right then. We're going to have a bunch of dust to buy stuff with. The thing is, we're actually going to have a little bit of time. Blue is winning the game quite a bit more slowly than the game was won last time. It really does, in a lot of ways, come down to who ends up being the dominant faction. A Vaulter faction that takes over the map can end up winning a science victory like 10 turns ago, maybe. How's he doing on science? He's got 3 victory attacks, and that's clearly his route. He's also at 62% of the economic victory, so we don't have a lot of time. But we do have enough, pretty sure. So we are at 9230. We're going to pick up 920. Give it one more turn. I think we're good. I hope we're good. It's taken a really long time for the game to plan out Blue's turn. Little does he know how irrelevant it will be. No, seriously, I'm still a little worried, actually. I think we're okay, though. Now, I have not played perfectly. I'm sure that there's a lot of comments on previous episodes shouting that at me. Some of them might even be right in the ways that they're criticizing, although something tells me not everybody. Ooh, 5 red sign can get us a booster. I'll take that. I'll take double XP for my heroes. Okay. But you can see, like, you don't have to play perfectly. You just have to play well enough. You can let some things go wrong and still be able to establish a winning path. It's just a matter of recognizing which things are the things that can be allowed to go wrong. Alright, so we're going to take one more turn here. It'll put us a little bit north of 9,000. Or no, sorry, it'll put us a little... Or 9,000. It'll put us a little bit south of 11,000 is what it actually will do. And that should be all we need. Turn 125, honestly, is not such a bad speed for a victory. It's just, against the modded AI, you sometimes don't get that much time. Alright, let's see it. Let's see what you got, Blue. It's possible... I mean, he can finish that 4th victory attack any moment now, right? He's gotten like 5% of the economic victory in the last couple of turns. So yeah, it's possible we have maybe like... I don't know, in the neighborhood of 10 turns left, somewhere around there. So if Blue's a little reticent to make deals, or like we have trouble converting influence into diplomacy for some reason, it should be entirely feasible for us to wait a couple of extra turns of accumulation and then finish it off. We will see. Oh no, my amount of influence gained was not what was showing here. It was a little bit higher, so we actually did manage to, and he closed his borders. Ah, I was about to say he broke our peace treaty, because that would have been pretty good. The biggest problem with us having peace with him is that it makes the terms of deals between us less expensive. Usually that's a good thing, but when you're triumphant, are we? Wait a minute, he didn't take any of my fortresses during war. I gave him a fortress. Was that during a war? Were we at Cold War then? I don't remember. So, like, here, let's save the game real quick so we can play around a little bit, because I want to show you guys some of the mechanics here. Actually, we should be able to, so like tech trading is 78 influence right now. if we Cold War him, and then put peace on the table, tech trading will be almost twice as expensive. And that's good for us, actually. Alright, so let's give him our manufactorium. That'll get him interested in the deal. And then I'm going to give him one of each of our resources. This is, I know, just trust me on this. This is going to look really, really silly. And we're probably going to have to make a whole lot of deals to get there. But note that a single point of resource costs just as much influence to add to a deal as all of your points of that resource. So we're gonna basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna fiddle with this deal a little bit until it is as expensive as possible while giving us as little advantage as possible. Unfortunately, we do have to have peace with him in order to engage in the kind of resource trading that I want to engage in. So that's true, isn't it? Am I saying the wrong thing? I don't know. Hold on. So let's pull the tech out of the deal. And now we will take small amounts of resources back from him. And again, this is all about making the deal really expensive. Okay. Still pretty positive. There's no... Wow. He's remarkably willing to listen to just trading Oloran stuff back and forth. Actually, what if we did this? And then, like, we gave him... No, the tech doesn't get us anywhere close. Okay. I want this deal to be as close to even as possible. Any tech kicks it all the way over. Okay, now we could take advanced alloys from him, and we can just turn up one of our contributions a little bit. Or, okay, we can trade him tech. If I trade him all of my tech, can I get another tech from him? I can't. What about if I get a... Nope, he won't let me have a slightly better tech either. Do I want to take this deal as it stands? We can ask for him to open his borders. So this is an 1800 influence deal, which will yield a fifth of that in diplomatic points. So it's not very much, right? We're going to have to make actually 10,000 influence worth of deals, which is going to mean a lot of little deals. But you know what? I'll do this. This is to his advantage, but it's fine. Okay. Now our diplomatic point value will not update on this screen until we hit next turn. But let's try to make a bunch of little deals with him here. So, map exchange, and I'll give you one of every one of my resources, and you can see the resources now are cheaper. But there's a bunch of types of terms we can't add to deals as long as we're at peace with him. So, the other thing we can do is repeatedly declare Cold War, and then try to negotiate peace. But the issue with that is, first of all, I don't think we would get peace back. Because he is really not loving our peace deals in the first place. And secondly, he's really gonna squeeze all of this stuff out of us here in order to get any of these deals made. Yeah, I'm worried that I wouldn't get peace back if we tried to do the repeated Cold War trick, and also it's expensive. Declaring Cold War from peace doesn't get you any diplomatic points because it's not a deal. He can't refuse. It's a unilateral declaration. So you have to, unfortunately... How much titanium do I actually have? Okay, let's start kicking up the amount of stuff that we're offering, but not all of it. So he probably wants pearls, right? Because in order to actually get this deal from him, apparently we're going to have to give him real amounts of things. Wow, he's actually not budging on this. Like the amount of value we're getting out of this. Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. So a map exchange. I didn't really think about it before putting all the terms on the table, but he actually won't do map exchange for all of our resources. That's not an amenable trade for him. Okay, how about no map exchange? And we just do straight goods. So this is the tedious type of deal I was talking about earlier. We're gonna have to do a real tedious thing here. So how much for? Wow, he has a lot of money. Alright, so we can make this kind of deal over and over and over again. So we'll just give him one of stuff until he's like, cool. It's another 174 influence, or worth of diplomatic points. And yeah, we're just going to keep doing this until we've spent all of our influence. And unfortunately, it's going to take a little while, and this is why we don't generally go for these kinds of victories. But, so how many of these deals am I going to have to make? Each one of these is like 170. Yeah, we can maybe speed this up a little bit. Let's put more of his stuff on the table. Just add more terms. Add more terms. So let's get to green, and then we can trade some of the ones that he gave to us. We might actually not get to green on this. Yeah, he's protective of his Hyperion. Yeah, so if you're not down with watching all this, feel free to skip ahead to the end, because I'm confident we'll get it. It's just a matter of how long. Okay, he was green at all of our die. How much do I have to give him? 130. 150. 140. And this actually does matter because we're going to keep using one of things as trade value. So that's 700 more. So let's talk about some stuff, huh? We don't really want to talk about this too much. It's not interesting, but how could they have designed the game to make this a little less silly? Because obviously the way you're supposed to accomplish this is just by accumulating more resources passively, accumulating more influence passively, or more diplomatic points passively. But unfortunately, there's no way to make that happen that doesn't still make it a waiting game victory. So I appreciate that they thought of that at least and put in the fact that deals generate diplomatic points. Because otherwise this would be, first of all, the most tedious victory type, and secondly, by far the least likely. But how would you design it so that you could make it a little bit more... What's the word I want? I sometimes describe things as being gamey. Let's just give him pearls until he takes it. Okay. But what I mean by that sort of is that it drips of mechanic, right? Like there's no real world explanation. You can't come up with a good fluff explanation for why trading him one piece of garbage over and over again is moving his opinion of me. In fact, he should hate me for this. If this was the AI, and in some games it is, right? If you watch the Total War series, sometimes they just offer you the same weird marginal deals over and over again. If this was the AI, I'd be outraged. AI doing this to me, offering me the same horrible deal over and over again. So how do you make this a thing that makes some kind of actual in-world sense? Honestly, I don't know. I don't have a good answer. This is a tricky concept. I really like the abstractness of it. And you could say that the abstractness is itself the gaminess, that any really abstract idea is always going to feel more like a game mechanic than a part of the game's world. But, honestly, the thing is, I really like game mechanics, and I don't I guess I don't always think that gaminess is even that big of a sin, but there's definitely a place where it becomes too much. So we've done a really good job trading for his dust one clump of nanites at a time here. Oof, we still got 6k to get through. Alright, well, you know, fasten your whatever. Fasten your whatever it is that's holding you in your computer chair, because I assume you couldn't just be sitting there and surviving all of the excitement of SB playing Endless Legend. Is this the last victory type? I'm trying to think. I might have won by every victory type in this series after I do this. Alright, can we throw something else on this deal? What does he not value very much? A single wine doesn't seem to be too valuable. What if I give him a pearl? Plus a quicksilver. Oof. Well, I warned you it'd be tedious. 280 gold isn't enough to change this deal at all. 6,200 left. Alright. But just to show you guys that this is indeed working, we'll hit the end turn button here. We'll play out the end of this turn, and then I'll show you the scoreboard again. Nothing. Okay, so right now we are showing at 459 diplomatic points. Obviously, our passive diplomatic point gain right now is 2. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this. I forgot about this stupid, and I even said to myself, hey SB, remember not to forget about the diplomatic point gain in winter thing. Oh my god. Well, it's fine. It's not going to matter. Oh, no. Okay. Boy, I don't even know what I want you to do. I don't know, make a public granary? So we are, in fact, not gaining as many diplomatic points as you would like, but yeah, there it is, 936. So we did, gain a bunch of diplomatic points. Unfortunately, now we have to wait. Because we don't actually have enough diplomatic points to end the game. Or we don't have enough influence to end the game. But we do have enough influence to score a bunch of points. Sadly, we're just going to have to wait until the winter's over. Or until we have... Honestly, if the winter takes 16 more turns, we'll get to the point where we still would win through the diplomatic point gain before winter would even end. I totally forgot about that, though. That's a very annoying winter effect. And the worst part about it is lowering someone's diplomatic point gain is almost never going to matter, except for like this one situation where it is a huge gotcha. Ugh. The worst part about that is now we're going to have to sit through a bunch more of his extremely slowly computing turns. And I intentionally didn't put down pillars. We're going to wait until sacrificial amplifiers are done. And give us a little bit more influence for our buck. Fourth victory tech? Nope, just moving real fast on that economic victory. That actually could be an issue. It would be really nice if winter ended. I forgot all about this. Oh my god. Boy, I hope this isn't what costs us the game. It shouldn't be. I think we should be okay. I think we have a few turns left before his diplomatic, or before his, what do you call it? Economic victory. Sure. These are the same anomalies, so yeah, grab this one. Alright, one more turn until we put up our new batch of pillars and make all of the influence forever. But yeah, actually this winter thing really does suck. And to be perfectly honest, we could fix it. We go back to the save game and just do a big influence trade right before winter. But man, what a bummer. What a weirdly specific bummer. Minus 50% diplomatic point gain. Ugh. I have to wait for his extremely long computations. Well, you remember that thing I said about being incredibly embarrassed if I don't end up winning this game? Yeah, looking that right in the face. Oh my god, take your turn. What could he possibly be computing? Oh, you know what? For some reason, the AI feels the need to move all of their armies every turn, regardless of whether the situation actually calls for that, or... That probably is slowing down the calculation some. Okay. We've got our larger area effect pillars now. So let's just place them till we can't place them no more. This might be the last one. It probably should go here. Okay, yeah, see, now they're grayed out when we can't afford them. It's weird that they, that didn't happen the time before. I don't know. Like, is there anything that we could research that would be meaningful at all? I guess this, technically, does something the moment it's finished. Let's just look around for pearls and stuff. It would be really cool if this winter ended. How much are we making now? We're making 1,200. What do we actually need? Stupid diplomatic point gain. So we need... What? About 1,500 would normally require 7,500 influence. It will instead require 15,000. Yeah, this actually looks pretty bad. It looks like the winter effect may have killed us. Is it 87%? Oh, what a loss. Well, you get the idea, though. You understand how it works now. So, if you're interested in having a diplomatic point victory in your own games, hopefully this was enough to teach you. Whether or not we win this now is going to depend entirely on whether or not winter ends. We have no control over it. But like I said, it's fine because at least we made a point of what we were trying to do. Where do I want to build a burrow here? Even? I guess this gets us 3 more spaces of coverage. The burrow will never finish. Never mind. Doesn't matter. Maybe we can find some influence in here. Yep, we have discovered a friendly Fomorian. He'll give us some pixie blood. I don't know why he just has a huge vat of pixie blood. But something tells me that we don't want to ask a lot of questions. Alright, so I think we've lost. If winter ends at the beginning of this next turn, but he doesn't win, I think it's going to be one more turn before he wins. Is it 94%? Yeah, if winter ends right now, and he doesn't win at the beginning of this next turn, we win. Otherwise he wins at the beginning of the next turn, I believe. What a frustrating way to lose the game. But, you know, that's, first of all, it was on the table. I could have seen it. And secondly, you know, I don't want to say I don't care, but I kind of don't care. Like, we did the things, we went through the motions. This is a strategy that can win you a diplomatic victory under most circumstances. Hopefully it was educational. Hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully you learned something about paying attention to the list of winter effects. That's an important lesson. Let's take from it everything that we can, right? Alright, let's see. I don't know how many minutes it's going to be until he finishes. Oh, the turn number just flipped over. Okay, no, he did win this turn. Out of curiosity, was winter going to end right here? No, okay, so we wouldn't have won anyway. Yeah, but that's the idea. You take your big stack of influence, and you just like nickel and dime them over and over again. You can win a more natural diplomatic victory that involves a lot more passive point gain from relationships, followed by some big trades, but that requires, first of all, that the player who would win the game if you didn't do that be winning the game much more slowly than our opponents do. And secondly, it probably means you have to have more than one opponent left in the game. So probably that is not a strategy that is available to you on Endless most of the time. Anyway, that's going to be it for Endless Legend, for this game, for this video. And check out the channel announcement that will be going up later today, probably the end of Endless Legend, for a little while. And I'll explain more in that video. So thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you guys for watching however many episodes of this nonsense you watched. And we'll see you next time, whatever next time may be.